At the moment of the beginning of a new year, you take a deep breath and tell yourself, this year will be different. But let's be honest, it's not the first time you've said that. You've been here before, last year, the year before, and probably many years before. And if you've ever made a promise to yourself and then broken it, you're not alone. The truth is, most people don't change after New Year's Day. For 365 days, 31 million seconds, most people stay the same or even go backwards. It's not because they don't want to change, it's because they don't change their behavior. And so they keep doing the same thing in the same way and expecting different results. Einstein once said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Maybe many of us are crazier than we think. Worse yet, as you watch this video or read this, chances are you or someone around you has already given up on your New Year's resolution. According to statistics, 92% of people will give up on their New Year's resolutions. And if you don't want to be part of that number, you need to do something very different this year. And it starts with redefining crazy. Not just making promises, not just resolutions. It's about changing the way you think, the way you set goals, and the way you execute. Here I'll reveal some tips to help you actually achieve your goals in the new year. At the beginning of the year, you write down your goals, learn a new skill, exercise, save money, build a better relationship, or complete that project you've been meaning to do. You're motivated, you're excited, you're ready to make a change. But then a few weeks pass. That goal starts to fade. And by February, it's left as a broken promise. What happened? The problem isn't you. It's how you and most people set goals. New Year's resolutions fail because the annual goal-setting system is inherently flawed. There are two main reasons. The first reason the 12-month timeline is too long and unrealistic for most goals. Ask yourself, why do all goals take exactly 1 year to achieve? Not all goals need 365 days. Some of these can be done in a few weeks if you're serious. But because you automatically assume I have all year, you give yourself permission to procrastinate. I can start next month. June is still plenty. And you slip. Besides, the reason number two is New Year's resolutions don't create a sense of urgency. You feel like you have plenty of time, but the truth is, without a deadline, motivation evaporates. And without motivation, action doesn't happen. You fall back into the old cycle goal setting, procrastination, frustration, giving up. It's been proven that setting yearly goals is what 92% of failures do. So what's the solution? You need a new approach. One that gives you a sense of urgency but still leaves you time to make real progress. And that's where the 12-week method, also known as the 12-week year, comes into play. Instead of looking at a year as one long stretch, you break it down into 4 12-week cycles. Each cycle is like a mini year. You focus on just a few key goals for 12 weeks. It's shorter, more specific, has a start and an end. And best of all, it creates a sense of urgency that you need to take action right away. Why is this more effective? Because it's like how big companies operate. They have a yearly plan. Yes, but what they track most closely is quarterly performance, that is, every 3 months. If a quarter goes wrong, they can make adjustments quickly. They don't wait until the end of the year to realize, oh, I was on the wrong track in February. Likewise, when you break your year into 4 phases, each of 12 weeks, you no longer feel overwhelmed by the distance to your destination. You know exactly what you need to do in those 3 months. You're fully focused. And at the end of the cycle, you have permission to reassess, adjust, or reset your course if necessary. A yearly goal is like a compass. It points you in the direction of north. But a 12-week goal is like a map. It shows you the way, the stops, the turns, and how to avoid getting lost. And the great thing is, you get 4 mini years in a real year. If one cycle isn't perfect, that's okay. You have 3 more cycles to try again. Improve, accelerate. No need to wait 12 months for disappointment. Let's say you've decided this year, I want to really change. Great. But if you just want, nothing will happen. The problem isn't motivation. The problem is you haven't taken a specific approach. Now try something different. First, pick the biggest, most important goal for you this year. Don't pick too many. Don't try to do too much. Just one. One goal that, if achieved, will lead to positive changes in other areas of your life. For example, you want to grow your YouTube channel to 100,000 subscribers. You want to get fit, lose weight, gain muscle. You want to save $1 million. You want to write your first book. Any goal will do, as long as you really want it. Now. Don't try to complete it in 12 months. Ask yourself, how can I break this goal down into 4 12-week cycles? For example, like if your goal is to reach 100,000 YouTube subscribers this year, instead of forcing yourself into an uncontrollable number, turn your goal into action like this. In the first 12 weeks, set a goal to publish 9 quality videos, that's 3 videos per month, or 1 video every 10 days. Focus 100% on creating value, improving your filming, editing, content skills, and measuring the results. Why the number of videos, not the number of subscribers? Because subscribers are the result. You don't control them. But making and posting videos is the action you control. Or another example, you want to lose 10 kilograms this year when that goal sounds obvious, but it's also a trap. You don't directly control the number on the scale, but you can control how many gym sessions you go to each week, how many home-cooked meals you eat, or how many times you drink water instead of soda. So instead of saying, I want to lose 10 kilograms, you change it to, I'm going to go to the gym 45 times in the next 12 weeks, 15 times a month, roughly 1 day on, 1 day off. What's so special about this approach? It's specific. You know exactly what you need to do. It's measurable. Each workout is a tick. There's no ambiguity. It's actionable. You don't have to wait for inspiration or motivation and just do it. It's timed. You know when to start and when to stop. And if you don't hit it, you have 3 more cycles this year to do it again. Focus on actions, not outcomes. Because you can't control outcomes, but you can control every step. No matter how clear your goals are and how detailed your plans are, if you don't actually take action every day, nothing will change. We often think of failure as laziness or lack of motivation, but in fact, motivation is never a reliable thing. It comes and goes. There are days when you feel inspired, but there are also days when you just want to throw yourself under the covers and let everything go. And that's why you need a system, something that keeps you on track, even when you're feeling low. One of the simplest but most effective things you can do is track your actions every week. Not to put pressure on yourself, but to know where you are. For example, let's say you set 5 actions to do this week exercise 3 times. Finish 1 video, read 1 chapter of a book, drink enough water, and don't snack. Each time you complete an action, check it off. At the end of the week, if you complete 4 out of 5, that's 80%, then congratulations. You're doing great. If you don't beat yourself up. Use it as data to adjust for next week. We don't need to be perfect. We need to be consistent. Another important thing is to schedule in advance. If you just think in your head, oh, I'll make a video on Tuesday, then that Tuesday will almost certainly be filled with other things. But if you write down Tuesday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., shoot a video, then the chances of you actually doing it double or triple. When the time is already in your calendar, you don't have to think about it anymore. It's already in your day. And that way, you save energy fighting procrastination. Finally, make a commitment to someone, not just to yourself. When you tell someone else your goals, ask or update a friend on your progress each week, you feel more accountable. No one wants to be the person who keeps breaking promises. If you don't have someone to share with, you can write them down every week, sort of like a personal report card. And that's a form of commitment. When you know that someone, even yourself, will be looking at what you're doing, you'll naturally be more deliberate and consistent. You see, achieving your goals doesn't have to be a struggle. It just takes the right goals, a simple system, and a little discipline every day. Even if you're not perfect, if you do well in 2 out of 4 12-week cycles of the year, you're already ahead of most people who write their goals down at the beginning of the year and forget about them in their desk drawer. Because in the end, a goal without action, without measurement, without reminders, it's not a goal. It's just a wish. And this year, we're not living by wishes. If you've ever started a new year with high expectations, only to feel deflated after a few weeks, you understand that feeling. The feeling of envisioning a better version of yourself, but not knowing how to achieve it. Often, what gets us down is not that the goal is too difficult, but that we've set it in the wrong direction for too long. You don't need to be the best, nor do you need an overnight transformation. All you need is a more realistic approach, a pace that works for you. No more rushing through the year without knowing where to start. Instead, take the time to focus, experiment, adjust, and experience real progress. 12 weeks, it may sound short, but when you know what you're doing, it can be longer than you think. In 12 weeks, you can build a habit, complete a project, change your fitness, improve your finances, or simply feel more in control of your life. And that feeling, the sense that you're on the right track, is more valuable than any New Year's resolution. So, if you do only one thing differently this new year, start by breaking things down. Embrace less fantasy and less stress. Just be clearer, more consistent, and more honest with yourself. Because no matter where you are, if you start over, you can still make it. It's never too late. Ooh.